Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 3 Wide. This week the Monster Energy Series was at Martinsville for the STP 500. Clint Bowyer won his first race in the 14 car for Stuart Haas in a race that I thought was okay, but for a Martinsville race it was below average. I feel like we all had our hopes up for this Martinsville race, and I don't feel like this race really held up to those expectations. Now on to the 3 bad things that came out of Martinsville this Monday. Number 1, the race was delayed until Monday. On Saturday, 20 laps into the truck race, rain started pouring down on the Martinsville Speedway, which ended with the truck race being canceled until the next day. Later on, the rain transitioned into snow, and Martinsville got poured on with a supposed 8 inches of snow, which had both races get postponed to Monday. Having a race be postponed is never usually a good thing, which is why it is number 1. Number 2, Bubba Wallace is lost. After being the darling in Daytona, finishing second, Bubba Wallace has been nowhere near to what the expectations were set after Daytona. He's finished 32nd, 21st, 28th, 20th, and this week in Martinsville 34th after having to get a sway bar arm replaced. Going into this week in Martinsville, I believe many people had decent expectations for Bubba Wallace considering he's won there in the trucks, but that did not come to fruition. And number 3, the 48 had a really bad day. After Lowe's saying they were leaving and Hendrick Motorsports and most of the Chevys being in a slump, Jimmie Johnson looked to Martinsville where he's won 8 times to get into form and to show that he's back. That did not come through this weekend as Jimmie Johnson finished 10th in both stages and ended up with a 15th place finish. This has many people scratching their head and wondering when the 48 and most of Hendrick Motorsports will get to where everyone thinks they should be. Now on to the 3 good things. Number 1, Alex Bowman and AJ Allmendinger having top 10 finishes. Alex Bowman got a 7th place finish and his best finish of the season so far. This has many people who stuck around with the 88 and then switched drivers after Dale Jr. left, hoping that this will be the time where we look back and saw this is where Alex Bowman turned the corner to turn the season around. AJ Allmendinger finished 8th. I thought he could be a surprise pick to win this week, judging off of his past results. An 8th place finish is a really good start for AJ Allmendinger to potentially right his season around. Maybe he could parlay to something into this at Bristol, and we know he'll be a real threat at the road courses of Sonoma and Watkins Glen and the Roval in Charlotte. Number 2, not one car dominated. The lap leaders for today were Clint Bowyer with 215 laps led, Ryan Blaney with 145 laps led, Denny Hamlin with 111 laps led, Kyle Busch with 24 laps led, Martin Truex Jr. with 4 laps led, and Brad Keselowski led a lap. This was a nice change of pace where we saw multiple drivers in triple-digit laps led. This has been a big change from the mile and a half where we've seen only one person really dominate the races. Hopefully we'll see more of this in future races. And number 3, Clint Bowyer breaks his 190 race winless streak. Since Clint Bowyer last won a race, the 2012 Chase race in Charlotte, Greg Biffle has left NASCAR, Matt Kenseth has left NASCAR, Jeff Gordon has retired, unretired, and re-retired, Dale Jr.'s left, Tony Stewart's left, Chase Elliott's changed numbers, Ryan Blaney's changed cars, Alex Bowman has changed cars, Carl Edwards has retired, NASCAR has changed TV partners, Scott Dixon's won 2 IndyCar championships, Will Power, Simon Pagenaud, and Joseph Newgarden have won a championship, Elio Castroneves has retired from full-time racing in IndyCar, The Rock and John Cena had a second WrestleMania match, CM Punk has left wrestling and is now in the UFC. Daniel Bryan won the WWE Championship, was forced to relinquish it, retire, come back, all in the time it's been since Clint Bowyer last won a race. After all the stuff like that has happened, you can't feel anything but relieved for someone to finally win after that long. Paul Menard, you're next. Now, what to look forward to in 2 weeks at Texas Motor Speedway. Number 1, we're back to our standard mile and a half. After Phoenix, Auto Club, and Martinsville, the Cup Series goes back to its standard mile and a half at Texas Motor Speedway. Hopefully the track has gotten better since last year where it was pretty much a single groove racetrack and no one could really pass that much. Number 2, will this be the track where Jimmie Johnson finally gets back on it? Jimmie Johnson is a former 7-time winner at Texas Motor Speedway and has been known when the pressure is on him to turn it around at this track. With Hendrick's struggles and the Chevy struggles, maybe this will be the first time Chevy gets a win on a non-restrictor plate track with their Camaro. And number 3, an off week. After 7 weeks of racing, counting the shootout, the duels, and then the 6 weeks of regular season racing, the Cup Series won't have another race again until April 8th. I feel like this off week comes at a good time for the Chevy teams considering they've all really been struggling and haven't looked too competitive. So that'll do it this week for 3 Wide. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.